You're not gonna make it. Oh, you got a water deal. Okay. Okay. Morning, everybody. I'm at Horseshoe Beach, and this is going to be on the west coast up in the deal. Hang on a second here. Yeah, Jeff, I'm doing a live stream. Go ahead.
Oh, I didn't know what you were doing. I saw you backing up.
I was just getting all this guy's way for this water rescue guy to get past me. So anyway, so we're in this area right here. Near Horseshoe Beach area, and there was talked to a couple of chasers that were on the beach about an hour and a half ago. They estimated over 3 foot and higher storm surge came in like a tidal wave is how they described it, and it surged past Horseshoe Beach. And right now I'll take you outside here, but the wind is so outrageous here. It's about a mile and a half up the road here, and I was out here a few minutes ago. And I can tell you it's very deep. The water's, I'm about a mile and a half from Horseshoe Beach. The salt water surging up the highway here. The outside's gonna be really windy. You see up that road there, the Florida Department of Water Rescue is also here, which is not this vehicle. There's 2 high water rescue units that just arrived about 10 minutes ago. Followed them in from the east, and they are launching their boats down there now. But the water is just in front of me here, about 100 yards. It's about 2 feet deep on the road here. I'm still 2 miles from Horseshoe Beach. Some of the people tell me that the storm surge could be as high as 9 feet. But again, I can't verify that, but they tell me it could be as high as 9 feet storm surge in Horseshoe Beach. Water rescues are now being underway back to the west. Like I said, 2 Florida State high water rescue teams are here. Just arrived about 10 minutes ago. And huge storm surge in the Horseshoe Beach area. And then we got onshore flow at about probably 50 to 70 miles an hour on the south side of the eye. And the eye down here got the storm surge. There's Jeff and a couple other guys here with us. And we got the eye. We got the center of the eyes that came in here at Stunhatchee, and we were in the eye, and we had as the eye came over us. We had calm winds, and the amazing thing is in the eye, this is very common, is you had a lot of seagulls around 5:30. They follow the eye, and as the eye, this part of the eye got out of the rain and got here, I'm estimating thousands of seagulls, which is pretty common, and they get caught in the eye with the calm, and they move with the eye, and so as the eye, this up here moved on shore, around 5:30, 6 o'clock in this area, you could actually see the seagulls, and then the water started going up the river here, and this started rising. We saw it rise about 3 feet, 2 feet, 3 feet in the river. It started rising. It wasn't into town. We left town before the wind switched. We still had this east wind, but 10 minutes after we left town, we actually took a road just east of here. And as we left town, we did a shortcut, and we got about right here, and the winds abruptly that were coming out of the northeast abruptly switched to south, and we had trees falling like this, like dominoes, all through those roads. I will tell you, all the roads up to my east here, and let's go to another map, and that's going to give you an idea right here. We're at Horseshoe Beach here. This is all underwater, anywhere from 3 feet, maybe higher. Back at Horseshoe Beach, but if you look back on the road back up to the northeast here, and we'll give you a good road number that's on. This is the road at Texas Horseshoe Beach, but all this road, Highway 98 from Cross City, where you have these winds change directions from the east to the north. You'll see it's red. There's trees down all along here in power lines. All these cross streets, east, west, north, south. In this eye wall area, there's trees down in northbound and southbound and eastbound and westbound lanes. So this is extremely hazardous driving. There's thousands of trees down. Power lines are down, and you see all the roads here are yellow. This is 98's a huge mess now, as that eye wall, that inner eye wall now has come ashore now with these damaging winds. So you're going from this abrupt northeast wind, you whip around, and all of a sudden you're going around to southwest at 50 to 70 miles an hour, and the trees are just snapping because you got so much water. And as you see people out walking out, and the deal here, people trying to help other people. I think that's it's a local. Maybe those Jordan know that you see how deep he is. He's about a foot and a half deep there. Let me watch all our birds going, but the water's. This is what's going on. Horseshoe Beach. I'm still about 2 miles from town, and the water's about 2 foot over the road here in front of me, and it pushed everybody out of town. There's a lot of chasers there, but this thing continues to move to the northeast. Hurricane warning. We've had extreme inland flooding from the freshwater flooding, which is going to produce a lot of problems over the coming days, not only for Florida and North Florida, also southern Georgia, Charleston area, South Carolina, as the storm comes up here and stalls and just meanders, in this area for like the next 5 to 7 days, upwards of 20, 30 inches of rain. It's going to be a catastrophic rain event, to say the least. And I can tell you there's a lot of freshwater flooding. Even before we got to the storm surge here, right on the coast, there's a lot of freshwater flooding all over this area, right? But I will tell you, this eye wall, even though it's not, as intense as some of them I've seen over the years, right? But this eye wall is this heavy band of this 45, 50 dBz band. This is producing a lot of damage in the sense of trees being uprooted, power lines down, billboards being snapped off. This eye wall right here, and this outer band of eye here is creating a lot of power outages. Haven't looked at the latest numbers, but I know there's a lot of power outages, and you see all these high winds across this area. Let's go look at velocity data out of the Tallahassee radar. Actually, it's extremely high to my north. Actually, kind of surprising to see how high that is. East of Perry. Let me see what I've got here on my numbers. That's a pretty high number, actually, when I'm looking at that. Yeah, 70, 80 mile an hour winds, 85, 90 mile an hour winds. So when you have convection with those kind of winds, and you go back to precip, when you have heavy precip with those kind of winds right above the surface at 2,000 to 3,000 feet, you get these heavy winds. 80 mile an hour winds are now east of Perry. A big belt of 70, 80 mile an hour winds from Perry on up to Monticello, Greenville, Madison, Leah, Oakland, and Jennings, and Jasper. This big area is 70, 80 mile an hour winds, like we've seen last year with Odelia, and also Burl in Texas a couple weeks back. When you have this big wide area, it reminds me of Houston 2 weeks ago with Burl, and you have this huge area, 70, 80 mile an hour winds with heavy precip. With that, what it does, this heavy rain causes those high winds to come to the surface, and you're going to get damage. You're going to have damage reports all in this area. Massive power outages, power lines down, trees uprooted, and obviously we're dealing with freshwater flooding. This is storm surge from the Gulf of Mexico. That is storm surge on the west side of Florida here, and this is Horseshoe Beach, a major storm surge at Horseshoe Beach on the south side of the eye, which is what was expected. The models forecasted anywhere from 7 to 11 feet was the official forecast, and they nailed it, right? I mean, the hurricane came in maybe a little bit farther south than the official forecast, but anyway, it's big storm surge in this general area right here, Horseshoe Beach, and this area has got pretty good sized storm surge. That's it for right now, but we've got water rescue. There's locals here bringing their boats in now, so it's neighbors helping neighbors here at Horseshoe Beach, and you see the water rescue. There's people behind me, so that's what's going on right now, and things are they'll slowly improve today as the hurricane pulls away from this area and the winds died down. Things will get better, right? So let me get out of the way here with this guy, and just give me a second here. Make sure these guys can get through. Get out of the way. Yep. Just a local pulling back out. Let me see what this guy says. Hey, how deep is it back there?
It gets pretty bad, buddy. That won't make it.
Thank you. Okay, there's a search and rescue guy right there, search and rescue, and came in here, and he says it's he says it's real. His exact words, it's really bad. So the search and rescue guys, right? This is only one area of hundreds of miles along close. Storm surge warning, hurricane warning, tropical storm force warnings, inland, all kinds of warnings going on inland, right? So it's a big area, covers a lot of area right now. Let's see. Let me look at something else here. Let's go to, just give me 1 second here. I'm gonna pull up some warnings radar. We've got that. Let me look at the tracks. I don't need that. Flash flooding's been a huge problem. And give me just a second here. I'm trying to pull up some special weather data. Cloud light, yep. Like storm reports. Okay, it's fine. Big damage reports. Damage width reports. Yep. Yeah, let me do that. That looks pretty good, actually. Give me just a second here. I'm going to pull something up. Yep. Give me just a second here. I'm still trying to turn some stuff off. Yep, there we go. There's that. There's that. By the way, I'm using my Starlink is up and running. Okay. So what I'm showing you here is the Barron ThreatNet, right? It's the Barron ThreatNet system we have, and work for Barron. And what this is showing is kind of what the shear rate is. Is like, here's the damaging winds. When you see this kind of information right here, it's telling you that we've got damaging winds in this north eye wall. All this area up here where the eyes translate is telling you there's got a lot of wind shear, right? So you're going from one direction to the other, and that's creating that kind of damage. So that's what's going on with that. And let me look at to clear this, clear that. Let me see if the onshore, let me go to the tropical, and let me check this out real quick. And I know this is the wave that has already happened. Wave heights. Yeah, let me give it a second here. That's gone. Tropical wave heights. Let me see if I can bring that up. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they're calming down. Yeah, they're calming down. I can tell you that right now. They're calming down because they were all yellow and reds earlier. Yeah, they're definitely calming down because the hurricanes made landfall, and they were about 16 feet to 20 feet offshore earlier. Now the winds are out of the northwest 9, so they're calming down. This was around 16 to 20 feet earlier, and they had the locals are telling me that the chasers are at the area here. Tell me that they were had about a 3 to 8 foot storm surge in this general area of this area. Another search and rescue person is leaving this area right now too. So he's leaving. So it's pretty tough here, right? So that's what's going on there. Let's look at radar again. You can see the eye. We're just on the southeast flank of this heavy rain, and this we're on the kind of the southern part of the eye wall now. And Horseshoe Beach, they took a major storm surge. A lot of people waiting here on the edge of town to try to get into town, but they tell me it's very deep water. Again, I have not made it there, but did talk to chasers who were in town when the storm surge hit, and their exact words, Jeff, it was like a tidal wave. It was over 3 foot, and it said it chases out of town at about 30 miles an hour. It was fast. It hit hard and fast, and it came in pretty fast. And we're about 1.5 miles from Horseshoe Beach, right? It's down here. You see how close we are. The Gulf of Mexico's pushed inland 1.5 miles here. The water's it's just about a foot, about 2-3 inches right here, and about a foot on the road right up in front of me here. So that's Horseshoe Beach. But this big freshwater flooding going on. You're obviously going to have damage reports, and I could broken telephone pole, broken deals. I can tell you 98 in Perry, all the way through Salem, all the way down in this area, and all on this eye wall. Anywhere where this eye wall is producing damage, and will continue to produce damage most of the day. Hurricane warnings extend up into Georgia, so this is a big damaging wind event with power outages, trees coming down, power lines coming down, telephone poles coming down. It's producing a wider area of damage. If you think about this, we got Savannah up there, and we're just up the north there. I'm just going to look at this real quick. If you think about this, again, it's not going to have quite the impact it does on the coast here, but just kind of envision up toward Valdosta and up in this general area, just kind of envision this area right here, like about a 200-mile area of damaging winds. Yeah, 150 to 200 mile area, about 30 miles wide, and this is the area that's going to have damage all on this path today, right? Wind damage, trees uprooted, power lines, and the winds aren't so strong you're like taking roof off houses and building like major damage, but you're going to be light damage to moderate damage, but trees and power lines down, blocking roads all the way from southeast Georgia, all the way across the Panhandle, east of Tallahassee, I-10, and then obviously I-95 and those others coming out of Orlando and Gainesville. This area is going to have a lot of down trees and power lines, right? And power outages. I can tell you the cell service up here also is very spotty. Verizon's been off and on in the area, and some other people are telling me they're having problems with the cell service. This is like over the last 4 to 5 hours. I'm on Starlink. That's how I'm bringing you my communications. If I didn't, I would be down to like a half a bar communications right now. It's not very good, but anyway, this has been done by Starlink. But anyway, and there are embedded tornadoes a little bit, not quite as bad, but there is a new tornado watch off the eastern part of the state of Florida, and tornado watch 596. Let's see what the details of that is. It's been out. They just put it out here a little bit at 5:55 a.m. Eastern time. Tornado watch northern Florida, southeastern Georgia, coastal waters until Monday morning until 4 p.m. this afternoon. Threatening tornadoes with embedded line of storms moving on shore and So this is, which has been going on for the last 24 hours. Tornado started yesterday morning, right 8 or 9 east southeast of Orlando, and some of them produced damage. And same thing we're having today, right? So these storms move onshore are going to have embedded tornadoes in them, and as that happens throughout the day, all these bands here will create tornadoes as they move onshore, right? So that's a problem, and it'll continue to be a problem the rest of the day. That's a real quick update. In this general area, just waiting for the storm surge to go down, to go back into this area and see what we can find out. But that's what's happening right now along the western side of the Florida main peninsula and Horseshoe Beach area. And again, haven't seen major damage like roofs coming off and things like that, but mainly just telephone poles, trees, power lines, the normal kind of stuff you can get with 60 to 80 mile an hour winds. And that's about what we had, in that range. So that's what's been going on in this area. And that's really about it. So if we see anything else, I'm sure we'll see a little bit stuff later. We'll give you some more updates, and obviously things are going to be pretty crazy across 40 today. Okay, so if you don't get a hold of somebody that you're looking to hear from, know that there's been a lot of wind damage, a lot of power outages, and a lot of utilities and cell service not working really well. So you'll get a hold of them, but it may not be immediate. Just FYI on that. All right, thanks appreciate your support there, and if you we'll try to get back on here a little bit as things change and more, and they will change. So hopefully the water will start coming down here a little bit, and we appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support there, Jesse. I appreciate that. So anyway, that's it from Florida. It's been a long evening, and hopefully things will get slowly improve here as the hurricane pulls away from the coast here, and it's also heading northeast up into north central and northeast Florida, as well as southern Georgia today, southeast Georgia along the coastal areas and the Valdosta area. Watch out for embedded tornadoes, as well as intense flash flooding and power lines, and high likelihood you're going to lose power around the eye walls, as telling you all. All right, that's it from Florida. Everybody be safe.